Discussions on dating.
I cannot go on a date with you, Dawn said on the phone. She was in Northern California for the summer. College was over until next term. She was enjoying the long summer break, but she missed her friend, Don. He had gone to Nevada to take courses over the summer. Dawn knew her friend liked her. He had liked her for a long time, but he had never had the courage to ask her out until now, over the phone. Yes, you can go on a date with me, he said. Dawn was twisting her long dark hair around her finger. She was lying on her bed in her bedroom. She was trying to think of an excuse to say, "My parents would kill me if I dated you." Why? Dan asked. He was in Nevada, several hours away by car. Dan was outside, sitting in a park. He had met Dawn's family. He knew they didn't like him. He had a lot of tattoos and earrings. His blonde hair was very spiky, and his clothes were a little wild. Dawn's family was conservative. They didn't like wild. So, Dan knew the reason why. He didn't need her to answer his question. Instead, he asked, "Do you have to tell your parents?" "Of course I have to tell them. I don't keep secrets, but you're a grown woman. Look, you're a nice guy, Dan," Dawn said, but she didn't get to finish. "I am," Dan said, interrupting. "You're right. I really am a great guy, a terrific guy. Your parents would love me if they knew me better. They would adore me. I'm sure they would like you eventually, but not love or adore. But yes, sure, they would think you are boyfriend material." "Or don't say anything to them. I'm sorry, Dawn, but you're being very old-fashioned. What is wrong with that?" "I can't lie to my mom and dad," Dawn said, sitting up on her bed. "I won't." "What? Lying? Say nothing to them," Dan argued. He watched a woman jog by with her dog. "Don't tell them about me. That is not lying." "Yes, it is," she said. "It is a lie by omission." "Oh, you're using big words. Omission. If you don't say anything, if you don't say nothing about me to them, then I have omitted the facts," Dawn said in serious voice. But she was only messing around. She was not really being very serious. Anyways, omission is not a big word. "I am failing my English class," Nat admitted. English was his second language. He is still learning, so it is a big word to me. "If it is, then we're finished," she said, joking. "I cannot date as someone with a small vocabulary." "Huh? But you would date me otherwise." Don't laugh. "I guess you got me." "Yes, I mean, I like you." Then I said it. "Okay?" "You said you like me?" Dan replied. He had been sitting on the park bench. Now he stood up. "Great, but that does nothing for me." "What do you mean?" She had not expected him to say that. "Think about it," he said. "Saying you like me makes it worse. Now I know you like me, so why can't we date? This is frustrating." "Let me finish," Dawn said. She got up from her bed. She was walking around the room. "I'm joking with you, Dan. I'll go out with you when you are finished with your classes and you come back to California. We can see each other, but I do have to tell my folks." This was great news for Dan. His classes would be over next month, but he still wondered why she had to talk to her parents. It was very strange to him. What do you need from them? You want to get their permission? "No, not their permission," she explained, "but it is our culture. You know, my family is not from America. We have different traditions where I am from. I know that. My family is the same. Yes, we came from another country. Where we come from, we respect our parents. We include our mothers and fathers in our daily lives.
That isn't fair to say that. I respect my parents too.
You do? Do you include them in your daily life, Dan? Well, Dan said, thinking. He did not really see them very often. He was away from home and did not go visit them very often, and he did not ask their advice about things. But Dan did not want to tell Dawn any of that. I try to call them every week, he said. That is not the same thing, but it does not matter. When will you be done with your summer term at college? It is over next month. That is a very short term. You know, I am only taking these classes to make up for last term. I did not do well in class last term. Yes, I heard about that. You failed 2 classes, Dawn said, but I know you're very smart. You can do it. Thanks, he said. I do study a lot. In fact, my teachers know that I am a good student, but the classes are all in English. That is why I have trouble sometimes. Dawn nodded. She understood completely. She had also had trouble last year in college. Then she hired a professional tutor. The tutor helped her a lot. When you come back, I am going to help you study English, she said. I will show you everything my tutor taught me. Really? That will help me a lot, Dan said. But I need to do something first. What is it? Before you can be my tutor, he said, smiling. I will need to ask my parents. Very funny, Dawn said. Just for that, I'm going to be a very tough tutor.